What if your laptop isn't just helping you with work, but quietly training AI on how to replace you? Because that's exactly what Mark Zuckerberg's Meta is doing right now. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Recently, Meta found itself in a new controversy. And this time, it was not about AI becoming more smarter. It was about how AI was being trained. According to reports, Meta started using employee computer activity to help train its AI systems. And when I say activity, I don't just mean finished work or final documents. I mean the small things people did while working: clicks, typing, mouse movements, and the way they moved around work apps and websites. And that's what made this story different. Because until now, when we speak about AI training, most people imagine about internet data, websites, images, videos, documents, posts, and so on and so forth. But here, AI was not just learning from what people created, but on how people actually worked. And once a normal workday becomes training material for AI, the conversation changes completely. So they started with an internal Meta program called the Model Capability Initiative, or MCI. The basic idea was simple. Meta wanted to build AI agents that could use computers more like humans. Not just answer questions in a chat window, but actually perform tasks on a screen. Open tools, click buttons, switch tabs, move through menus, fill out forms, and understand what step should come next. And from Meta's point of view, the logic made sense. If you want an AI agent to work on a computer like a human, you need to show it how humans actually work on computers. Because real work is not perfect. People don't follow clean steps. They open the wrong tab, go back, correct something, copy and paste, edit again, pause for a second, and then continue. That messy workflow is exactly what an AI agent needs to understand. But the controversy started because those examples were reportedly coming from real employees using real work computers. So this was not just some random training dataset. It was someone's actual workday. And that's where things started to feel a little uncomfortable. Now, workplace monitoring wasn't something new. Most of the big companies have some control over companies' laptop. They could monitor for security, compliance, software usage, and internal access. So the surprising part wasn't that Meta was having access to the employee's activity on the laptop. It was the purpose behind collecting those information. Earlier, monitoring was mostly about protecting companies' systems, but now this kind of activity was being used to teach AI how work was done. And that felt different. Because now, while an employee was completing their job, their behavior could also become an example for an AI system. The way they moved through tools, the way they corrected mistakes, the way they completed a task, all of that could become part of how AI learned. And that was the uncomfortable part. Employees were not just doing the work, they were becoming the example. Now, to be fair, Meta has a clear explanation. They say they wanted to build some AI agents that are more robust. And for AI agents to become useful, they need real-world examples. They cannot fully learn from theory. It needs to understand what exactly happens on the screen, where people click, where they pause, how they move from one tool to another, how they handle errors, how they finish a task. So from Meta's side, this was being presented as a practical step, not random spying, not performance tracking, but training data for AI. Meta also clarified that this was not being tracked for employee performance, and reports suggested that it was being done only on work-related apps and websites. Because once you know that your work is being recorded, work does not feel normal anymore, isn't it? And this is where employee side became important. Imagine being in that situation where your work is being recorded. You are already working under pressure. Deadlines, meetings, reviews, team changes, layoffs in the background, and then you heard that your computer activity could be used to train AI. Your first reaction would not be great innovation. It would probably be, wait, how much are they able to see? And then the bigger thought comes in. Am I training something that will one day do part of my job or maybe even full, right? And honestly, that concern was not unreasonable because this was happening at a time when Meta was making a huge push into AI agents, while employees were also hearing about restructuring, layoffs, and smaller teams. So, employees were not hearing this in a calm environment. They were hearing it in a workplace where AI was becoming more powerful, teams were changing, and people were already unsure about what came next. And when that is the background, even a technical policy starts feeling personal. And this was a bigger shift because for years, AI was trained on what humans created: articles, blogs, videos, images, documents, code. But this was different. This was AI learning from behavior, not just the final output, but the process behind the output. And that process says a lot. How someone solves a task, where they hesitate, what they correct, how they move from one step to another, how they decide what to do next. That is not just data, that is human workflow. And if AI learns enough of that, it doesn't just learn what work looks like, it starts learning how work happens. That is why this story matters. Now, this did not mean that AI is going to replace everyone the next morning. That was too simple. But it did mean the shape of work was changing. At first, these AI agents could help employees. They could remove repetitive tasks, save time, make teams more efficient, and honestly, that part could be useful. But over time, companies may start asking a different question. If AI can understand more of the workflow, how many people are needed for the same output? And that is where the anxiety comes in. Because the same system that helps team members move faster could be the reason to have fewer team members. That was the tension. AI could help employees, but it could learn much more than what the employees wanted it or could control about. And that is why this became a bigger controversy than just an internal program. At the center of all of this was trust. Employees just wanted to know how much is being collected and who has access to it, how long is it being stored, and so on and so forth. Whether it could ever be used in a way they did not expect. And even if the company said it was not for performance review, people still wanted clarity. Because once data is collected, it creates a feeling that someone or something is watching how you work. And that feeling can change behavior. People may become more cautious, more aware of every small action, less natural, and ironically, that could even affect the quality of the data itself. Because once people know they are being tracked, they don't behave the same way. So when you step back, this controversy was all about three things: privacy, power, and job security. First, privacy. Employees wanted to know what parts of their workday were being captured. Second, power. Because the company controlled the laptop, the software, the data, and the AI being built from it. And third, job security. Because employees were generating the behavior that could make AI more capable. And that is why this was bigger than Meta. Because if one major company normalizes this, others may start looking at their own workplace data the same way. Every company wants better AI, and every company has employees producing workflow data every single day. So the real question was not if this data is useful. The real question could probably be whether this should be made normal without clearer boundaries. So in the end, this was not just about Meta tracking their employees. It is about a new phase in the AI world. A phase where AI was not only learning from what humans created, but from how humans work, and that changes things. Because today it may be clicks, keystrokes, mouse movements, and screen activity. Tomorrow it could be decision making, communication, creativity, and judgment. So the real question was not just should companies use employee tracking to train AI? It should be when your work trains AI on how to work, who controls what happens next. I'm curious to hear what you think. Do let me know in the comments below. That's it for today. If you found this interesting, please do subscribe to the channel and share it with others, because we are going to come up with more such stories in the coming week. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.